Don't go. Jungkook grasped Jimin with tears. This farewell moment made the army touched. In an atmosphere of twilight that hung softly in the air, a moment that millions of fans around the world had never imagined suddenly exploded into heated conversation. Not just an ordinary meeting between two BTS members who have gone through so much together, but a second that felt like a dramatic movie cut, one that made time stop, hearts break, and the world hold its breath. In the middle of the silence of a small dim room, there was only the sound of bated breath and footsteps slowly approaching. Jungkook, with teary eyes, looked at Jimin, who was preparing to leave to carry out his duties. There are no official cameras, no reporters. Only two best friends, two brothers are back at the crossroads of time as they began their journey. And that's when the sentence that shook the hearts of the entire army was uttered. "Don't go," Jungkook whispered in a broken voice, clutching Jimin's hand as if it was the only way the world wouldn't separate them. Simple, but heavy sentences. It's heartbreaking, full of history, full of meaning that can only be understood by two people who have supported each other in silence for more than a decade. Here's the full account of the emotional moments that left army around the world speechless, in tears. And once again recalling how deep a relationship Jimin and Jungkook built, not just as group mates, but as brothers bound by a common destiny. The day actually went on as usual. The members who are serving their respective duties carry out routine activities. However, according to a staff member who witnessed this rare moment, since morning, something has seemed different to Jungkook. He looks restless, occasionally sighing deeply, and checks his watch several times even though he has no important schedule to attend to. It's like he's waiting for something. Or someone, said one of the staff who saw Jungkook sitting quietly staring at the floor, as if immersed in his own thoughts, when the news that Jimin had to change his assignment location for an undetermined time began circulating in the area. Something inside Jungkook seemed to collapse. No one knew that the breakup would happen quickly. No one expected that they only had a few hours before the door closed and the distance again separated the two. But Jungkook knows. "I've been feeling something since morning, like the instinct of a brother who is always guarded, followed, and understood the figure that has grown with him since adolescence." When Jungkook finally found out that Jimin was in the waiting room before departure, he immediately rushed over. His pace was fast, almost frantic, as if he were a second late, he would miss a moment that could not be repeated. The door of the room opened slowly. Jimin was standing there, dressed in full uniform, with a calm face, but his eyes implied something deep. Something only Jungkook could understand. For a few seconds, they just stared at each other. No words, no smiles, no greetings. Only silence should be uncomfortable, but for them it feels so familiar, because both know words are never enough to describe the feelings they have been harboring. Jungkook approached slowly. Jimin lowered his head slightly, as if holding something in his chest. "I thought you wouldn't come," Jimin said softly. "I will never miss this," Jungkook replied, and his voice trembled even as he tried hard to remain strong. According to staff who saw the moment from a distance, no official camera captured it. But someone managed to hide their phone behind a folder and record the silhouettes of the two. The blurry footage has now spread, stealing the hearts of millions who saw it. As Jimin began to prepare to step away, Jungkook suddenly grabbed Jimin's hand with both hands. The movement was spontaneous, full of uncontrollable emotions. "Hey," Jungkook called quietly, almost in a whisper. Jimin stopped. Jungkook lowered his head, his shoulders quivering subtly. "Don't go." The three words destroyed the fortress that Jimin had been building. He immediately closed his eyes, trying to keep calm, but the tears flowed without him being able to stop. "Jungkook." "I have to," Jimin replied, his voice breaking, "but I'm not ready. I don't want to part anymore. I don't want to see you go alone." The remark made Jimin lift his face and look at Jungkook for a long time. Jungkook's face was red, his eyes were teary, but he still looked at Jimin as if it was the last time he could convey all his pent-up feelings. In the blurry video circulating, it is clearly visible the moment when Jungkook pulls Jimin into his arms. A big hug, a hug that is not for show, not for the camera, but the hug of a sister who does not want to lose the sister she trusts the most. "Thank you for always being there," Jimin whispered, his voice heard in the recording. "Thank you for never letting me go," Jungkook replied. The hug lasted a long time. Very long. Until one of the officers had to remind that the departure time was approaching. But Jungkook did not let go, and when Jimin finally took a step back, Jungkook again held his hand tightly. "Hyung, come back quickly. I'll wait." Jimin nodded with a slight smile, though his tears still fell. "I promise." When the blurry video was leaked, ARMY around the world instantly exploded with emotion. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, to community forums are full of the same phrase, "I can't stop crying." Some fans even admitted to quitting their activities just to watch the video repeatedly. Not because they want to see their two idols cry, but because the relationship between the two is so sincere and so real. There's no acting there. "It's a real pain," wrote a fan from Korea. "The way Jungkook holds Jimin's hand, it's like someone who is afraid of losing," commented fans from Brazil. Jimin tried to be tough, but you could see he didn't want to leave. "They need each other," said a fan from Indonesia. Many called the moment one of the most emotional interactions in BTS history. Even some international media began to write opinions about the depth of the relationship between the two, not just as group mates, but as brothers who grew up together from a teenage age. To understand why this moment is so electrifying. We must go back to the time when both were trainees. Jimin, who is older, was one of the people who helped Jungkook the most when he came to Seoul. Jungkook, who is shy and quiet, often follows Jimin everywhere. Even the coaches call the two like shadows of each other, from hard training to moments off guard in the dorm. The two build a bond that outsiders can never truly understand. A bond born of the same struggles, tears, fears, and hopes. That's why this breakup feels different. Not just a farewell to duty, but the parting of two brothers whose hearts were never truly separated. The one thing ARMY talked about the most from the footage was Jimin's little smile at the end of the video. The smile that appeared right after he wiped Jungkook's face and said, "I'll be fine. You should be fine for me too." The smile is not full, not bright. Yet it was the determined smile of an older brother who did not want his sister to see him destroyed. A smile that tries to calm, but for many fans, that smile just made their hearts collapse even more. According to the staff who accompanied Jungkook after Jimin left, Jungkook seemed to be silent for a very long time. He sat on a bench by the wall, looked down, his eyes red, and did not speak. He just held his phone, opening and closing the screen as if he wanted to send a message, but did not know what to say. A few minutes later, he finally wrote something. The content of the message was never leaked, but one of the staffers mentioned that Jungkook typed "Hyung, I'm proud of you," before finally deleting it and writing something shorter. No one knows what the message is, but Jimin replied just a few minutes after. Departure. Although separated for a while, the two reportedly maintain communication. Relationships that have been built over the years will not easily falter, especially after an emotional moment like that day. A source said that the breakup actually made the two even stronger. "Sometimes, distance reminds us how important a person is," he said. And for millions of ARMY, one thing is clear: no matter how far Jimin and Jungkook are apart, they always come back to each other. Separation is not a new thing in human life. But when two people who have been through so much together have to separate in a state of stress and uncertainty, the world seems to feel it.